Spy X Family Season 2, as well as a plethora of other anime, have just released, and due to the much anticipated fall season after its explosion in 2021, Spy X Family has been one of the most anticipated series of the year to see if they can pick up where they left off. But chances are, if you're watching this, you watch a good bit of anime and probably a lot of different anime from different genres, but I can assure you, you've never seen anything like this. But before we get to that, we need to address a bigger issue. In watching different anime, it's become a massive issue how similar they're all getting, and it's so much harder to get a truly unique experience compared to what it once was. Sword Art Online goes into a new video game world where the main character goes from being a lonely loser to then becoming the ultimate badass. Where have we heard that before? A kid with no talent strives to be the strongest character in the world while competing with his dark-haired rival from a family of gods. How many of those are there? A lonely kid who's never had a girlfriend struggles, and out of desperation, the most popular girl in his school falls in love with him. And like, Jesus Christ, like, that's the thing right now. They're selling like hotcakes. Hey, I'm not gonna say anything about that dark anime trend because I really like those, and Kagurabachi is the greatest piece of media to ever exist. But the anime industry has turned into the classic high school classroom where it's like, hey bro, can I copy your homework? Yeah man, let's change it a little bit. Now, there isn't anything inherently wrong with this considering the fact that genres, but what I can say is sometimes you need to spice it up, change the flavor, get a breath of fresh air, and really see what this medium has to offer. Spy X Family is a breath of fresh air mixed with a slap in the face of nostalgia, thrown in with creative humor, as well as an ever-building cast of characters that all work in conjunction to create a compelling narrative that not only conveys an undoubtedly unique story, but an atmosphere and vibe unlike any other anime out right now. And let's be honest, chances are you've heard of Spy X Family. You're either A, watching this because you want to hear someone glaze the show, as kids say nowadays, or B, you want to know if this show is something interesting or something that just has mass normie appeal. Now, to get to the bottom of this, you need to understand the premise of Spy X Family and what the actual genre is. And well, the genre is everything: comedy, shonen, slice of life, romance, action, and somehow James Bond. But there's a lot more to it than just that, because it's all connected through this spider web, and the threads of this grand vast web are the characters. Starting off with Loid, a tired yet elite spy that is assigned a long-term mission, Operation Strix, that will hold the balance of another world war between the fictional countries of Ostania and Westphalia, or East and West Germany, where he has to infiltrate the infrastructure of this country and get to the leader of Ostania, and in doing so, realizes that the best way to do this is by forming a fake family, which then leads him to adopt a daughter, Anya, to send to the same school as this official's kid. And this is where Spy X Family shines and delivers curveballs, by having Anya the child have telepathy and understanding the fact that the person that adopted her is a spy. You need to understand this for later on, but Loid does not know that Anya has telepathy, and she isn't supposed to know he's a spy. You need to understand the huge risk and what makes the mangaka Tatsuya Endo create such a difficult parameter to work around, having to somehow intertwine these characters, but at the same time they're consistently working towards their own goals while working in conjunction towards a grander narrative, all the while incorporating humor. Now, besides the absolute difficulty of this task, it's well known that Tatsuya Endo doesn't even really like Spy X Family, feeling there's more of a rebound manga, if you will, during a low point of his career just to get the ball rolling again. And well, I think you could say he definitely got the ball rolling. Nevertheless, Spy X Family is not an anime that leaves you in one place for a while. No, Spy X Family is addicted to change, addicted to challenge, and addicted to creating the most dynamic viewing experience for the viewer. So now, at this point, they're missing the one thing that makes a family whole: a mother. So Yor seems like a nice regular woman who doesn't have anything crazy going on. Nope. Nah. Definitely not normal. What in the world kind of edition? Like, you think it's, oh, goofy spy anime? Nah, bro. She is murking everyone. So due to needing a mother for Anya, and Yor must keep the fact that she's an assassin secret as well, these three are all now put under the same roof, and that just makes it all the more chaotic. And the standard episode structure of Spy X Family is what makes this dynamic so interesting. So it basically goes like this: Anya will go to school while interacting with her classmates that are all established and developed characters as well. Then Loid likely has some form of objective in terms of gathering intel at the school, all the while Yor ends up being dragged to school for mothering things, and this level of cohesion makes you feel this level of satisfaction that although this anime has so many lighthearted moments, it's also written in a level of detail unlike any other. And what Spy X Family does better than most wholesome animes, it delivers the big moments time and time again. And the perfect example in this is the fact fact that in the early episodes, there was a run of episodes of Anya getting accepted into Eden, this high-class school that she had to be a part of for Loid to actually be able to complete his mission. Loid has to actually act as a real father while Anya is trying to live up to the expectations of her father. All the while, Yor feels the maternal pressure of not being able to help Loid reach Anya and feeling useless, and the payoff is having Anya, who loves spies, experience a real-life spy mission by having Loid use all of his resources in order to create a feeling of a real game where Anya is actually acting as a spy in this grand castle, having a spectacular moment on the roof with fireworks going off as Loid rewards his daughter for working hard. And although the animation may not be any technical marvel like Demon Slayer, what it does is it fits the story perfectly and helps those moments deliver. And at the end of the day, that's the most important part of animation. It should not be looked in the way of being the end-all be-all for the anime, but instead it should address the fact that it works to serve the anime and serve the audience something that's truly unique, and serving the audience a truly unique experience, because that's what watching anime is all about. Getting the viewer to enter an almost existential point where their mind transports into another world for 20 minutes and they feel as though they're living in this world and nothing else matters and that time doesn't even exist. Spy X Family will leave you feeling as though time passed and 20 minutes is gone and you don't even realize what's happened until the episode's over. Now that the overdramatic monologue is done, it's time to talk about something not as nuanced but more important than animation. There's only one word you could possibly use to describe this, and it's vibe. A person's emotional state or the atmosphere of a place as communicated to and felt by others. What does this anime do to make you feel this intangible but yet significant factor that separates an anime from an all-time great compared to the lows of isekai? And the vibe of Spy X Family will make you feel as though you're a little kid again, growing up, and not because you're living vicariously through the characters or anything weird like that, but because when you're watching Spy X Family, it feels as though you're watching morning cartoons on the weekends after a long week of school, which is really ironic because most of us watching this after a day of school or work, but it brings back those wholesome emotions, and that's captured. And this could be the craziest unintended consequence, but a clear plot thread is the fact that as the family starts doing more and more things, although labeled a pretend family, they start to feel the connection of a real one, which was expected. But Yor and Loid start interacting more as parents than people with mutual needs, and Anya always viewed them as real parents because she's coming from an orphanage where she was shunned and unwanted, and this all plays into this weird feeling as you see them come together where it reminds you of past days. And I know it sounds dramatic and maybe an exaggerated thing to hear, but it's the truth of somehow incorporating unique characters with unique motivations and unique abilities and somehow feel like a real family. And this is what makes Spy X Family elevate to the top of all the genres. But here's what's crazy is that it's not even the end of it. Spy X Family consistently throws in more and more elements. Let's throw in a dog that can understand human speech. The son of the president that Loid has to track down has a crush on Anya, but it's also this kid has an immense pressure of living up to his parents' standards and being seen. Anya's best friend is a rich kid that lives out of reality and starts to gain perspective on the rest of the world by hanging out with Anya. Loid is dealing with the stresses of immense work and starts to feel himself actually settle into his fake family. Yor has to deal with the stresses of being both an assassin as well as learning what it's like to live in normal society. Anya is the only one who knows everything and wants to do everything possible to keep the family together. Yor has an overprotective brother that's working for the direct spy agency in correlation against Loid's organization. And this guy who says, this guy with an afro that's really chill. Spy X Family takes everything from every genre, throws it all into a blender to create one of the most unique and cohesive stories while hitting you with an organic sense of nostalgia and creating something that can only be described as an experience no matter what stage of life you're in, that will shatter your mind with plot twists and payoffs while intertwining the narratives and gold of every single person of interest in the story. Of course, there needs to be a suspension of disbelief in terms of the fact that you have a telepath, a spy, and an assassin, and a dog that can see the future all living under the same roof, but it does it in a way that you don't feel like you're being BS when you see all these moments come together because of how much the moments hit and the vibe and feel and atmosphere of the anime. So if you haven't given Spy X Family a watch, you need to do it right now. In this fall season, season 2 has came off with a bang and it's been very good thus far. Well, it's only been one episode, but if you want to watch something on something else you should watch, check out this video on Blue Lock, drop a like, subscribe, and don't forget, we're just getting started, we're gonna stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.